you need to push for the repeal of the Taft-Hartley Act.
Yeah.
The reason for that is when it passed in the 50s by the Republicans after the election of Eisenhower, they wanted to find a way to basically reduce the membership in the unions. I'm a union member myself, and that law allows non-members to get the same benefits as members get. So in other words, we're paying the membership fees to get those benefits so that our leaders can fight for our contract.
Yep.
But yet people that don't belong to the union get the same benefits, exactly, and that's because of the Taft-Hartley Act.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dan. There was a 2-year period between 1932 and 1996, I think it was, when Newt Gingrich swept the House of Representatives. There was a 2-year period when Republicans controlled both the House and Senate during that entire stretch, because Americans remembered the Republican Great Depression. And that was the election of 1946. The Republicans took both the House and Senate, and in 47 and 48, you had what Harry Truman referred to as the do-nothing Congress. It was very much like right now. They just did nothing. Except in 1947, they passed Taft-Hartley. And Truman vetoed it, and they had a large enough majority that they were able to override his veto. And so, and what it does, as you said, is it allows states to opt out of the provisions of the Wagner Act, the National Labor Relations Act that was passed in 1935, that say that you have a right to unionize. Unions have the right to represent you. And if you join a union, you have to go along with the rules of the union, essentially. And what they said was, you can work in a workplace. An individual state can mandate that you can't have what are called closed shops. And now every red state in the union is a right to work for less state. They called it, right to work legislation. I call it right to work for less. Every single red state is now a right to work state. And there's a few blue states that are right to work states because they were controlled by Republicans at one point, and the Republicans passed right to work legislation. And, again, based on Taft-Hartley. And Harry Truman referred to it as that vicious Taft-Hartley Act. And I think he was absolutely right, Dan. And I would love to see a movement to repeal Taft-Hartley. It's going to take, it's going to take a really substantial Democratic majority in both the House and Senate to do it. But it would rebuild the American middle class really rapidly. Dan, thank you. That was excellent.
Should have done it when Obama was president.
I agree. Obama, he had promised that he was going to do something like that. He was going to do card check. It's one of the things that, just one of the failures, one of the things that just didn't get done, sadly.